Welcome back, CoinOPS fans. This is Pixel Freak from the CoinOPS Project Discord server. I have in front of you Bit Wars on the left side. Also, you'll notice that I have CoinOPS Legends 4. That's been out. I've already done the video. Hopefully, you've already seen it. But I have that out because I want you to pay attention. Stay tuned to the end. It's going to be very important. You see how Bit Wars, its own standalone build, can also be nested into CoinOPS Legends 4. Now, speaking of Bit Wars, this is all about consoles, okay? Let's take a quick look before we look at the eye candy. You're actually running RetroFeed to see the front end and the games contained therein. Let's take a look at the file structure. It's very important to understand where BitWars fits in the ecosystem of all CoinOps builds. There's a lot of dev going on right now. So this is really just kind of an initial build. It's going to be released so that people can check it out, have input as this build matures. You've seen previously, you have Legends, Legends 2, Legends 3, and then Legends 4, the mature build, was really where it was finalized. Bit Wars is coming out, and that way people can have a chance to go through it themselves, see what they like, see what gets used most, and then join the Discord server so that you can have your voice heard. You can have some input. You can see what's coming up. Search on Google. You can find the invite to Discord somewhere. So with that, let's look in the emulators. Notice there's no MAME. But what is interesting, you got PS2, you got RetroArch, so you have all the cores that you're used to running, Dreamcast, SNES, all those consoles. Pitmic Official, these are your old school. Pitmic does a great job of running these old school computer systems. They're all under Pitmic Official because they have very specific and unique fittings or features that he has taken significant time to make sure they all work. And so therefore they go in their own official, kind of the old Next style days, Picmic official emulators in there. You'll notice CMU. In the build itself, WiiU is not included. You'll just see the bats. These are placeholders because I'm going to show you a neat little trick. One, if you add your own emulator here in CMU, it's going to obviously work. You have the bats. There's no ROMs. But if you understand how all this structure works, you can add your own emulator, but it does not come. It basically PS3 and Wii U, they're so huge, they're not included in the build, but there's a neat little trick that BP included so that you can see how they would actually fit in here. I'll get back to that in a minute. But looking at the emulators though, that's why it's laid out. But I wanted to point out, you notice there's no CMU emulator and there's no PS3. You go back down to here and you look in the settings, right? This is how you can tell what playlists there are. Again, this is more like a Legends style or single level, not the collections where there's an upper level and a lower level for the menus. If you look in here in the cycle playlist, this is a good way to see what's in here. GBA, Game Gear, PSP, 2600, C64, Sinclair, Spectrum, Amiga, NES, Master System, Super Nintendo, Genesis, PC Engine, Nintendo 64, Dreamcast, PS1, GameCube, Saturn, PlayStation 2, Wii, PlayStation 3, and Wii U. Okay. Now, that is 21 total there, but you're only going to see 19 by default because, like I said, PS3 and Wii U are not in here. I'll get back to that. But that's a great way to see what's going on. Look in the emulators folder, look in the settings to see what the playlists are in this type of build, and then you'll also notice that there are multiple executables. If you were listening earlier, I said that there are consoles, there are early computers, and there are also handhelds. These Yoshi icons are sorting. They're all going to show the same number of systems and they're all going to show the same number of games in the playlists. There are no limits here. None of these are going to limit such like a micro build. These are simply going to set up the playlist differently. So alphabetical, you're going to get all the systems just alphabetically. So I would imagine it's going to start off with Amiga and then go to Atari 2600. Manufacturer, it's going to sort by manufacturer. And then within those, it's going to then be alphabetical, I do believe. Release date, that's how they would be sorted. And then system type first, and then release date within those. So that is a sub sorting within system type. But let's start off with Bit Wars. Originally, the original EXA started up, Joy to Key pops up, runs in the background because it's running the music. RetroArch does not need Joy to Key to run. So unlike Legends 4 or Collections where Joy to Key is running in the background because it's taking care of exiting the non-MAME and non-RetroArch emulators, it's needed for the PS2 and the PC emulators. So those are actually contained within their own directories. It's not a global Joy to Key The Joyta key that is global in this build is actually used to randomize the background music, which also has a bat file that you can turn on and off. Starting in Super Nintendo, Genesis, PC Engine, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and around the horn. Those are the 19 playlists. Remember I said there were 21 in there because PS3 and Wii U, they don't show up because they're not populated. They're not there. But if you want to look at the bottom right, of course, you have game count that comes stock. These are very easy to add to. You just need to bring your own video. A lot of the box art's contained therein. They just don't match up to a ROM. So if you add a ROM, you add your logo, you add your video, most likely the box art's going to be there. And if not, they're going to be repositories as well. So these are supposed to be easily added to. There are no other themes. This is all the artwork that you need. Very simplistic. It allows you to be very creative and add what you like. All right. I love how the box art just pops up center. It's at a slight cant when it's the one in focus. Otherwise, they're all straight. 66, 64 in Genesis. Again, you can add, I mean, somebody could, if they wanted to record all the videos or scrape all the videos, they could add complete ROM sets if they wanted to. Unlike Legends, look at the video. They're 800 by 600, 5,000 kilobit per second constant bit rate for the videos. They are not the full screen HD requirements like Legends. Much easier artwork requirements. So you can go to town on this and expand it how much you want. All right, 24 PC Engine. And I love how, look at the detail. There was a lot of work put in by the devs to make these accurate. A lot of discussion back and forth behind the scenes about, well, what should these look like? What's the best way to present this art? And it's very easy to swap out too. I know that some of the devs prefer PAL versions, so they can swap those out easily. And I'm sure that this build is going to be very ripe for pack makers and those in the Discord community sharing what they've done, because it's very easy to do. All right, I love those standard covers there for when you used to get the discs in those cases. We as well. The old cartridge cardboard containers there. GBA. Never had a Game Gear myself, so I'm not sure what they came in, but they're all absolutely gorgeous artwork. All right, there are glass effects by default. There's a bat file to turn it off. Oh, the old school PC stuff. Look at that. All right, so that's what you get by default. All right, oh, how many Nintendo? The 38 Nintendo, 18 Sega Master System. All right, what I want to point out though is let's take a quick look at one of these sort. I think that let's go by release. There's been a lot of discussion in the Discord lately about trying to get collections or playlists to do by release. Look at that, Atari 2600, C64, Sinclair, NES. And those of you that are, you can't see, of course, what I'm doing with my hands, but I'm just simply clicking down. The playlists are up and down. The game selection are left and right. Very simple, non-changeable UI. There's no other themes, okay? So that is if you sort them, whatever your preference is, all right? That was by release. Now, you also have, notice this, add Bit Wars to Legends 4. We're going to get into that in a minute. Of course, there's very few advanced configs. Second screen marquee is enabled. There's 3 different types. I don't know if these are aspect correct or if they're full screen, but you've got disable by default. If you want to enable it for crossfade, in other words, they will fade into each other as you switch through games, or they can jump. In other words, it will just statically change when you've stopped. Kind of like the fast mode, I do believe. But again, I can't test it because I don't have a second marquee. Those of you that have invested in that, they're absolutely gorgeous and good on you, but I can't test that. The track mode dim. Typical CoinOPS stuff. If you don't know what these are, watch some of the other videos. Here's how you can disable. Some people may not want the glass effects on their consoles. Understandable. Just disable them. And I will show you, oh yeah, quick key, CoinOPS keyboard and controller. That's another standard bat that comes in all the CoinOPS builds. If you want, if you don't want your coin button on your control panel of an arcade cabinet, if you don't want that exiting, you want to do keyboard only. That will take away the controller back exit. Or also, I mean, if you're using controllers, of course, that could also, but most people with cabinets are more concerned about that. But if you got little kiddos playing and they're mashing away on the buttons on your Xbox controller, they're in the menu and they keep backing out, you can run that as well. Serial delay encoder, if you have the standard USB encoders, everybody knows that warning. Run that so you don't get the ghosting in the actual moving of the menu in Retrophy. Now, fixes will not work. Everybody knows what those are. Joy to key is only there to run the music, so it will randomize. All right. Make sure that I don't see the music in this one. Yeah, there it is. Sorry. It's right in front of me. Way to go, Pixel. All right. Made sure it's enabled. Let's go system type and release just for one last view. And then I'm going to go into a game to show you that all right now, everything is running on the standard. There it is. So this is going to be computers alphabetically. C64 hang on. C64 Sinclair Amiga. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that would be computers by release. Wow, figure it out. As you can tell, I've had this build for maybe 2 hours. All right, then you get to console, starting at the Atari 2600. Then you get to go through the console release dates in increasing order. Okay, I'm following. Thank you for your patience. Then we get past Wii, and then we're into Game Gear, which these are the handhelds, which are going to be by release date. GBA, PSP. All right, so there's only 3 computers by release date. So that must mean that there are 13 consoles and then 3 handhelds. All right, but let's jump in. I want to show you that these are the modern bezels. Oh, well, all right. The handheld evidently has them enabled. So, Game Boy Advance, there you are. Okay. X input controls, already pre-configured, and that's the default. If you're using anything other than 1920 by 1080 by 60 hertz, you might have some stuttering. Those of you that use 2K or 4K, sometimes your monitor refreshes at 30, you get really bad stuttering, etc. Make sure that you're using the defaults for CoinOPS to get the best performance. All right, back and start will always get you back to your menus. That's the CoinOPS default as well. All right, now, since that last one made me a liar, let's see if we get a bezel. Well, you wouldn't get a bezel on PSP because it was actually 16 by 9 aspect ratio. So, oh, sleepy monkey. All right, so Commodore 64 would not have been 16 by 9. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, the modern bezels. All right. God, I love how that just gets right into the game. You don't have to watch the silly loading stuff. Pip's done a wonderful job with these computer systems. All right, same thing. Back and start, or coin and start if you're using arcade controls. All right, so let's NES, right? Yep. All right, glasses on. Anyway, folks, this is absolutely early in its infancy, but it is such a great build. A lot of people have been excited about it. That is it as a standalone, okay? I'm sure there are a couple of things that I haven't covered, but I wanted to get here, even though I've covered the advanced configs and you see what those are, this right here. Notice in here, add Bit Wars to Legends 4. Legends 4, you say? All right, let's see. Read me text. I'm going to explain it slightly different. This is going to be included. You don't want to just willy-nilly slap Bit Wars into CoinOPS Legends 4. Close, but timing, the order in which you do it is important. BP puts in here, add Bit Wars to Legends 4 emulators. So if you have Legends 4, go to emulators. Okay. This is not Max. You can also do this in Max. Of course, if it was Max, it would have all the others. But since this is the non-Max version, it's a MAME-only build. You're going to want Bit Wars right here. Okay. I'm going to do something slightly different than these instructions because I don't want to copy over unnecessary stuff. All right. Or actually, no, I'll do it all at once just to show you how it's done, but I can tell you at the end. There's 2 folders. You don't need to copy over add Bit Wars to Legends 4 and fixes when not working. You already have fixes when not working in the root of Legends 4. Just for those, I want to show you that this has not been manipulated in any way. Here's Legends 4, okay? This is a completely untouched build. I just unrarred it just so that I'd have a sandbox to be able to show this video. That's also why it's taking a little bit extra to fire up for the first time. Legends 4, right? There you go. See? All right. Now, look. Zookeeper, Three Wonders. Everybody knows that's where it starts. That's where it ends in the all games. All right. Let me get out of here. Completely untouched build. The reason I say you don't want to copy over fixes, you don't want that nested again. So I'm going to do it. You can take Bit Wars, just drop it in emulators, the whole thing. In fact, let's do it that way. I'm going to. Oh, that was awesome. Do not do that. Jeez, I dropped it in there in the wrong spot. Okay, I have cut it. I have pasted it. Bit Wars is now in CoinOPS Legends 4 emulators. Ignore that spot. Maybe I'll edit it out. Now, Bit Wars is now in under CoinOPS Legends 4 emulators, okay? Now, I would recommend get rid of fixes when not working because that's redundant and add Bit Wars to Legends 4. Remember, these were BP's instructions. Add the content to Legends 4 or Legends 4 Max. This also updates Bit Wars to remove the splash screen, so order of overwriting is important. That's why I'm showing you this method. Always use add content to Legends 4 or Legends 4 Max last to fit Bit Wars standalone. The only difference, even if you get this wrong, folks, you're still going to have Bit Wars working in Legends 4. The only thing that will have gone wrong is that it will have the splash screen when you start it. This is like a universe approach. You're going to have Bit Wars nested and starting within Legends 4. Legends 4 will pause, take the background, Bit Wars will start. You get the entire console selection within Legends. When you exit out, it will then go back to where you were in Legends 4. So, what he means by moving the content, copy these three. Okay? I'm just going to cut them because I don't want them in two spots. Go to your root directory of Legends 4. Hey, it already has all this stuff. Yes, I want to overwrite all this stuff. All right, boom. I have now added that content that was in emulators, Bit Wars. Okay, I took all that. You can even get rid of that. Let's just make it clean. Okay. You're going to want to keep the advanced configs folders, though, because that is how you actually change Bit Wars, which is nested within Legends. All right, so in Bit Wars, I got rid of those two directories because I don't want them hanging around. And then I added the content into the root of Legends 4. Again, this will also work for Legends 4 Max. Now let's see what we've done, folks. Legends 4 starting. There it is. Now, that is not, I am not moving those. Remember, this is a video snap of it. 16-bit Wars is treated like a game selection because remember, this is a linear single menu, right? If I click right now on my A button, I'm going to have 1943 and it's going to play. This is Legends 4, just like you know it. Now it's different. You're like, oh, Bit Wars. This is not it. This is the preview. If I click on it, it fires up the build within Legends. This is the universe approach, which is something else in development. Look, now I'm actually scrolling through the games. See? All right. Here's the 19 actual playlist that we're used to. I'm done. I'm done. I want to get out of here. Back. Just like you're actually in the build. Look, I'm in Legends. The other thing that I think is great, BP went ahead and he said, all right, it's going to be important that people have it fully integrated if they want to do so. It can be its standalone. Bit Wars can be standalone, or it can be skinned and work completely. See that? Isn't that cool? All right. So it has all of the appropriate themes so that you can have Bit Wars completely integrated into your Legends 4 build. There it is. Wheel. Not cabinet and wheel. Wheel. Cabinet and wheel, you say? All right. I can do that. Here you go. As it applies the new theme, look at that. It is now one of them. Completely integrated in there. So we can also change, you know what, I'd like to see wall 2 theme, or what we also refer to as dark wall. Look at that. Smooth. Integrated completely. Fire it up, goes right in. Now, some other things that you can do. Some other things you can do. Exit out. I wanted to have you stick around because I told you that within, now remember, I've moved this whole thing, so Bit Wars is over here. I want to show you that collector in the collections is the default collection in Bit Wars. Sorry if I lost you, but those of you that know, remember, let's think of Bit Wars as its own standalone, right? Before we integrated it into Legends. Collector is the default instead of what used to be arcades. The collector, I think he might have named it that because it collects all these other things. Okay, if you look in here, you see all the subs, what's getting pulled in. These should be the 19 subs, the playlists that you saw. In here is also removed collection subs. See this Wii U and PlayStation 3? Pull these out. You want to see how this works? Drop them in so that now that they are going to show. They are not, these are dummy files, but it's so that you can see the artwork, etc. Also, look, I don't have to go back into, just for purposes of showing you, I don't have to go back into the actual full Legends build. I can still run Bit Wars because it's completely self-contained here. I'm not saying you would, but just for purposes of this build, that's why I'm doing it this way for this video. So if I go into Bit Wars, okay, and what we're looking for now is we should have 21. There's PS3, okay? Look at that beautiful art, the videos. For these 18, granted, these are placeholders. Now, a little birdie did tell me that if you simply take what's in collections and drop that emulator in here, you might have this fully functioning as long as you pull that sub over like I did, all lined up. All right, and then Wii U. That you're going to have to add your own CMU, your own ROMs, but the structure and the artwork is all here. You got your first 8 already done, okay? Now, I'm going to pull those out. Collections, collector. I'm going to pull out Wii U, and I'm going to pull out PlayStation 3, and I'm going to put them back in the removed because they're not really there. I just wanted to show you. And if you want, you can go to Wii U, medium artwork. Let's even look at logos, right? They're the 8 that are there, all pre-populated. So one other thing that I could show you is in the launchers, because now if you look, Bit Wars was added, right? That's one of the things that was dropped in to Legends 4 when we did the content, the second step. If you look at that conf, it's telling you this executable. Let's see. I actually really like it to go by release date. I'm just going to slow click so that I get the file name exact. That's also how I name all my art when I'm adding things so that I don't miss a space or a dot, etc. I'm going to change that out. Make sure there's not an extra space there. There's not. Let's see if now they will come out in the release. Again, doing this without a net, folks. Never tried this. I just got this build. Theoretically, that should change the launcher to pull the other executable. All right, so when I start Bit Wars, because remember, I'm in Legends 4 now. I'm still in the dark wall mode. Fire it off, and I wanted it by release date. Look at that. Atari came up instead of Super Nintendo. That actually works. All right, quite pleased with that. All right, folks. Hopefully you've hung around this long to be able to see what's going on. Everything is very exciting. This is still in its infancy. It's beyond proof of concept. It's going to be released fairly soon so that folks can try it out, see what they like, give feedback, always read the FAQ, go through the pins in each channel. Just be cool. We've got a great community on the Discord server. I recommend you join it, figure out how to get what you need there, read the FAQ. You're always going to be told that. read the FAQ, do some searching. Everybody's there to help you, but we're not there to spoon feed. We want you guys to be able to get the information that we have spent considerable time collating and fixing and updating. There's been a lot of new releases and a lot of new activity on the Discord. Welcome to everyone. We look forward to seeing you there. And thanks for checking out the video. Feel free to subscribe, leave comments. Otherwise, I'm not going to do tech support in the actual comments. That's kind of happening in some of my videos. That's what the Discord server's for. So right now I'm going to leave the comments on, but we'll see in the future. I don't know. Other than that, thanks for paying attention, and we'll see you on the Discord server. Pixel Freak out.